मुदीरय
कष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके
भगवते उत्तमा श्लोके
श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी
ईश्वरा परमकृष्ण
ईश्वरा परम कृष्ण
सच्चिदानन्द विग्रह
सच्चिदानंद विग्रह
अनादिराज गोविन्द
अनादिरादिर गोविंद
सर्वकारणकारणम्
सर्व कारण कारणम
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय
देवकी नन्दनाय च
देवकी वंदनाय च
नन्दगोपकुमाराय
नंद गोप कुमाराय
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः
गोविंदाय नमो नमः
करारविन्दे नपदारविन्दम्
पदारविंदे न पदारविंदम
नपदारविन्दम्
उपारविन्दे विनिवेशयन्तम्
पदारविंदे विनिविषयन्तम्
विनिवेशयन्तम्
पटस्य पत्र सपुटे शयानम्
पटश्रपत्र शपुटे शयानम्
सपुटे शयानम्
बालं मुकुन्दं मनसा स्मरामि
बालं मुकुन्दं मनसा स्मरामि
मनसा स्मरामि
Hare Krishna.
कृष्ण
So 26 1 2 3 completed, correct?
No, Prabhuji. Still in the middle of it.
First 1 2 3 we did not finish the whole thing.
No.
Okay, we'll do the sloka, then translation, then we'll go to where we stopped. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's see who can do the sloka. I don't know what is going on here. 1 second. Yeah, let's see. Manu Prabhuji, can you do shloka one time?
Krishna. Prabhuji. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 4th canto, 26th chapter, verses 1 to 3 by His Divine Grace Swami Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. Narada Uvacha
Narada Vacha
Sa Ekada Maheshvaso
Ekada Maheshvaso
Ratam Panchasvam Ashugam
Ratam Panchasvam Asugam
Dvisam Dvi Chakram Ekasham
Ekam
Trivenam Panchabandhuram
Trivenam Panchabanduram
Ekarashmi Ekadamanam
Ekarasmi Ekadamanam
Ekanidam Dvikuvaram
Ekanidam Dvikuvaram
Panchapraharanam Sapta
Haranam Sapta
Varutam Panchavikramam
Panchavikramam
Haimo Paskaram Haruhya
Pushparam Aruya
Swarna Varmak Sayeshutihi
Swarnavarmakshayati
Ekadasa Chamunataha
Ekadasanatanaha
Panchaprastham agatvanam.
Panchaprastha-agatvanam.
Translation by Stephen Grace from Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Great sage Narada continued,
Great Sage Narada continued,
My dear king,
My dear
King,
once upon a time King Puranjana took up his great bow
once
once upon a time, King
took up his great
Puranjana
bow
took his great bow
and equipped with golden armor
and equipped with golden armor
with golden armor
and a quiver of unlimited arrows
and
a quiver
equipped
of unlimited arrows
and accompanied by 11 commanders.
and accompanied by
and
11
11
commanders.
commanders.
He sat on his chariot driven by 5 swift horses
He sat on his chariot driven by
Saddam
five
Shivan by
horses
swift horses
and went to the forest named Panchaprastha.
and went to the forest named Panchaprastha.
Panchaprastha.
He took with him in that chariot 2 explosive arrows
He took with him
in chariot two
chariot
explosive
with
arrows.
arrows.
The chariot itself was situated on 2 wheels and 1 revolving axle.
The chariot
And
was
situated on 2 wheels and one
and one
revolving
revolving
axle.
axis.
On the chariot were 3 flags,
On the chariot were 3
Chariot were three
flags,
flags,
1 rein, 1 chariot driver, 1 sitting place,
one rein,
one chariot driver, one sitting place,
2 poles to which the harness was fixed,
two
to
poles,
which the harness was fixed,
5 weapons and 7 coverings.
five weapons,
and
and
7
seven
coverings.
coverings.
The chariot moved in 5 different styles.
The chariot moved in
Five
5 different styles,
styles,
5 obstacles lay before it.
and
and
5
5 obstacles lay
before
before
it.
it.
All the decorations of the chariot were made of gold.
All the decorations of the chariot were made
Chariot
of
were made
gold.
of gold.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, okay. Where did we stop? Anybody remember?
Yes, Prabhuji, the paragraph that starts with the 2 wheels of the chariot.
Oh, okay. I found it. Vallabha, did you find it?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Did you find that
Translation by
paragraph?
Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
The 2 wheels of the chariot may be compared with 2 moving facilities, namely sinful life and religious life. The chariot is decorated with 3 flags, which represent the 3 modes of material nature. The 5 kinds of obstacles or uneven roads represent the 5 kinds of air passing within the body. These are prana, apana, udana, samana, and jnana. The body itself is covered by 7 coverings, namely skin, muscle, fat, blood, marrow, bone, and semen. The living entity is covered by these 3 subtle material elements and 5 gross material elements. These are actually obstacles placed before the living entity on the path of liberation from material bondage. So Prabhupada is saying that all the wheels and the what do you call, all the coverings, the 7 things that they carried, all the elements, everything, that's all representing our body and our material being. And essentially the 2 moving facilities are the sinful life and the religious life the people lead. And the chariot itself is covered with 3 flags, which represent 3 modes of material nature. The 5 kinds of obstacles or uneven roads represent the 5 kinds of the air passing within the body. Those are the prana, apana, udana, samana, and jnana. And the body itself is covered with 7 coverings, namely the skin, muscle, fat, blood, marrow, bone, and semen. And the living entity is covered by 3 subtle material elements and 5 gross material elements. And they actually the obstacles placed before the living entity and the path of liberation with the body. So Prabhupada is describing our whole human body and the way we live in this particular paragraph.
Okay. Any questions?
Prabhuji, any transcendental message from this? Trying to understand this transcendental.
So basically, because we have seen a different interpretation before, 5 horses, those things, right? Prabhupada beautifully gave that picture what you gave. Here, Prabhupada giving other analogy also here. The two wheels of this is first time I am hearing this analogy. This is very beautiful actually, right? We know only one analogy before, but general analogy, but this is something second time I'm hearing different analogy for the chariot. Two wheels of the chariot repair the moving facilities. Those moving facilities, namely sinful life and religious life. Okay. Then he's talking about chariot decorated with three flags, which represent the three modes of material nature. Okay. And the five kinds of obstacles or even roads represent the five kinds of air passing within the body. Those are prana, apana, udana, samana, and vyana. The body itself is covered by seven coverings. They namely skin, muscle, fat, blood, marrow, bone, and semen. The living entity is covered by three subtle material elements and five gross elements. We know that those five subtle and gross elements, right? Panchabhutas and subtle body and gross body. These are actually obstacles placed before the living entity in the path of liberation from material bondage. So, following another analogy basically compared to the other analogy, and he's saying that these are the actual obstacles placed before the living entity, the path of liberation from material bondage, right? So, namely sinful life and religious life, the two facilities. Yeah, that's all I'm understanding, Prabhuji. I don't know more than that. So basically, Prabhupada comparing, in case of the devotees, this, we don't need to worry about all these details. Just Prabhupada said that we need to chant and follow for agreed principles and those things. But other than that, these are just analogies covering how a living entity can be entangled in the material world. We are still entangled. I don't want to say we are completely out of entanglement, but slowly, the process of devotional service, the moving facility is what we are trying to do. From sinful to religious life, we are trying to transform. Right? The first two comparing moving facilities, namely sinful life and religious life. So we were still sinful life, I would say, at least myself, I don't want to speak about anyone. But sinful life, slowly, what we're trying to towards a religious life. Right? So that's all I'm understanding. If anybody wants to give better explanation, please go ahead. Even including Vimal Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu, as you said, right, this two things what Prabhupada is mentioning, we always are fighting with sinful lives and religious life. So we have to bend towards religious life more than being in sinful life.
Absolutely. It's a struggle. Okay? It's not easy. Even I don't want to claim myself I'm fully religious. Also, it takes several lifetimes. So, but that's okay. At least we are cognizant of what we do. That's very important. That's very essential. What we are doing, what is acting, we should be very cognizant. When you're cognizant of what we do, then say I'm doing something wrong. This not what I am so. It is not I am supposed to do. Why? Because it's not as the Shastric evidence. No Shastra says so. That's basically we are following religious scriptures and religiosity. That So that should be uh, interesting. And also religiosity should not be mistaken. I'm a Hindu, Muslim, Christian. Okay, that's the faith. So religiosity is basically like
Sanatana Dharma.
spirituality.
Spirituality,
Yeah, spiritual. Okay. So the religiosity is wrongly defined in India. Hindu, Muslim, Christian is faith.
right.
Okay, the faith belongs to body, religious belongs to soul. That we should remember.
Right. You have to always think that you have to follow Sanatana Dharma, nothing else.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. Muslim can also follow. Christian can also follow. Right?
Correct, Prabhu.
Yeah. That's that's why Prabhupada never said that I want to convert Muslims or Christians. I came to give a love of Godhead. Anybody can take love of Godhead. It doesn't matter. Because that is real spiritual religiosity belongs to soul. Each soul is divine nature. right? And each soul has same characteristics. It doesn't say Muslim soul has this, Christian soul has this, Hindu soul has it. All souls are divine nature, very divine. All the parts and parcels of Lord Sri Krishna. The only thing is we are not realizing that, because everybody thinks we are the product of the material nature. There's the biggest mistake we commit. We are not we are not the product of material nature. We are a product of the spiritual nature. Jivere Swarupai Krishna Nityada. That we forget. That forgetfulness of that is basically sinful life. Okay.
So
So
all
the basic for the religious life is I am the servant of the servant. That is the basis.
right, and also the transcendental message, like Prabhu, this body needs to be used for the spiritual life. There's a
Absolutely. Absolutely. This body has a motor vehicle
motor vehicle.
used to transport the passenger to the spiritual, towards his Golaka Vrindavan, to the God consciousness. Anybody wants to add any points? Please go ahead.
Yes,
Feel free.
just a quick point, Prabhu. I don't understand why Prabhupada is saying that there's only two modes of two moving facility, which is meaning a sinful life and religious life. I mean, a non-religious life may not be, should be sinful, or can be just normal or material life.
No, material life is a sinful life. Why? Because that brings us back, and that we are enjoying independent of Krishna's material life. That is a sinful life. How do you define sin? Krishna explains in the third chapter. Anything that which is not connected to a sinful action. See, sinful means we have a different concept of sin, right? But even he says eating food without offering to Krishna is also a sin. Yes, Yagnashishta Shinosanta Muchante Sarvakil Bishai Bunjateta Agam Papam Eprachanti Atma Karanat. Third chapter, I think it's I don't remember, 11th shloka or something. What is saying? What is sin? Sin means anything which is not offered or given as connected to Krishna. Even food items which we don't offer to Krishna eat, he's saying Bunjateta Agam Papam. Papam means we are literally eating sin.
Sin.
The word is used by Prabhupada. You can look at the translation of that shloka. Sin. So that means the definition of sin starts from there. Then other than not offering food itself is a sin, means then anything we do, everything we do in our life, which is we are not offering to Krishna, is a sinful action. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Material life is a sinful life. Okay. Any questions, or anybody wants to add any more points? Okay. If not, let's go to the next paragraph. Give me one sec. Bimal Prabhu, we can go ahead.
Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ji ki jai.
Yeah.
The word rasmi, rope, in this verse indicates the mind. The word nidha is also significant, for nidha indicates the nest where a bird takes rest. In this case, nidha is the heart where the living entity is situated. The living entity sits in one place only. The causes of his bondage are two, namely lamentation and illusion. In material existence, the living entity simply hankers to get something he can never get. Therefore, he is in illusion. As a result of being in this illusionary situation, the living entity is always lamenting. Thus, lamentation and illusion are described herein as Dvi Kubara, the two posts of bondage. I'll try to explain, but I'm completely lost here. Prabhuji here, Prabhupaji explaining Rashmi. Rashmi is the rope, and this indicates the mind here. And the word Nidha indicates nest, and the nest indicates the birds basically taking rest in the nest. And again, so here Rashmi also is mind, and then Nidha is also, oh, in this case, Nidha is the
Heart.
heart. right?
Mm.
Art, yeah, okay. Where basically living entity is situated. So this means that two birds, right? One, yeah, okay. The living entity sits in one place only. So the causes of his bondage are two. Okay, this is all understand. So the main cause of living entity getting entangled are lamentation and illusion. And living entity basically tries to get which he never can get, and then always he is in illusion. And that is what we say. This is one of the energy of Krishna. So as a result, being in illusion, the living entity is always angry because he cannot get, so he keeps on lamenting. And these two situations are described as the Kubara and the posts of bondage, two posts of bondage. So we should never be in lamentation. No, means we should never be in illusion to cause lamentation. That's what we need to.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely. The illusion. See, one of the four symptoms of Kali Yuga, we all know that, right? What are the four symptoms of Kali?
yeah. We should not cheat others. We
So,
should
cheating propensity,
Illusion.
imperfect senses. What is the third one, Ravi Prabhuji said?
mistake. We should not do commit mistake.
Committing mistakes, and illusions.
Illusion.
So,
Yes.
illusion is one of the
Just energy. Yeah.
four default behavior of Kali Yuga. Default.
Default. Correct.
So the defaultness has to be defeated by the devotional service. You know, my spiritual master gave one time so a beautiful line. I will put if possible to overcome the these four default inherently involved in Kali Yuga symptoms is reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam every morning.
Very good.
That keeps us in the reality who we are, what we are supposed to do. Right? That the best way is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Now we are reading. Yeah, sorry, somebody saying. Go ahead.
No, Professor. I was trying to say that illusion is we never plan. Oh, I got a project. Now I am fine. I will not have anything problems. No, don't take illusion.
No. That is okay. You are not. You are see. That is okay. At least you are honest, and this positive game. I get money, and you try that. But illusion is something. Oh, what is that called? Oh, I want to become a millionaire. Okay, let me work hard. You put unachievable goals in the life. So my son is this, my daughter is this. Or they take care of me. Like we have so many. But at least getting project, that is okay. But at least honest. But other illusions are the okay. Having illusion, I'm not saying is wrong something, but having unnecessary expectations is the wrong thing. That's the illusion. Oh, they will take care of me. They this one, that one. We have faith in which is not sublime. I would say our faith we put in which is not sublime. The sublime is spirituality. We don't have that faith. We have faith in something which is not sublime. That is a problem. Hmm? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anybody wants to add any more points here or any questions?
So basically, we think we are the doer of everything. We are the achiever of everything, and we are the enjoyer of everything.
Right.
It's the illusion, right, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Whereas it's all
Yeah.
it's all Krishna who's controlling or
I
materializing
think
everything for us.
I think that is little variation is that 99% Krishna, even devotees, 99%, yes, Krishna controls. We have that knowledge. Even in that 1%, what we do because of freedom we have, we try to illusion things also in that 1%, right? That's why in Prabhupada's, that's why these four symptoms in Kali Yuga, in spite of being know that 99% is controlled with supreme reality, within that 1% also we try to illusion. Oh, I can do this. I can become this one. Or so the constant illusion is the cause for the lamentation. In the previous paragraph also explains that So this is suffering basically. So you're partly right too. So yeah. So that 1% freedom, we try to make big deal about it, and that 1% is the one which is causing us to come back. And that's freedom. Only you have that freedom. No big deal. Prabhupada beautifully explains that a cow is tied to the rope, and cow can only move however long that rope is tied to, and that much only it can move in circle way, right? And we have that much freedom, only 1%. We are also tied like a cow by Supreme Lord. He gave 1% freedom, do whatever you want to do it. Within that 1%, we start constantly illusioning. And we
No,
don't use that 1% for the satisfaction of the Lord. And as you said, we use that 1% to satisfy our senses independent of Krishna. And that is in that process of satisfying our own senses, then we constantly illusion. If I do this, I'll become happy. If I have this fun, I can become happy. We never have those things, and that would cause the lamentation as well, right?
no,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I think
what.
instead of taking that the freedom is only 1%, we think the freedom
Really,
is
your voice is, when you talk, can you talk clearly? Sometimes I don't understand, words are mincing. Just can you talk very clearly and slowly,
Sure.
Prabhuji?
Sometimes we think the freedom is not 1%, freedom is 99%, and Krishna is 1%.
Yes,
Right.
So
absolutely,
that's probably what's happening.
absolutely, absolutely. Very good point. Pranab Prabhuji, did you? I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say you're wrong, but just that's
No, I understand, Prabhuji. Thank you.
thank you. Anybody would like to add any points before we go to next paragraph? Any questions on this paragraph?
Prabhuji, is illusion like a desire zone, right?
No,
Illusion is desire. Illusion is something which is not.
Yeah, which is not real. I understand that.
Correct. Yeah. I think you're close to that one. I would say desires also. Hold on.
The mental
Desire.
concoction, right?
mental concoction. That's the correct word used. Yes. It's a
Yeah,
mental concoction, Prabhu, not.
Every desire comes from mental conception only.
yeah, definitely. That's true. And yeah. We
No,
can
no,
see that.
one thing, Prabhu. Here we are expecting what is not expected, right? See, we are thinking that this will happen. See, we had desire. See, I want a project. I got the project, but I am now thinking I'll become boss of that project. I want.
Um,
So that is what mental concoction.
Radhana Swami Maharaj explains beautifully, expecting the unexpected.
Yes, expecting the unexpected.
He says beautifully in one class. Then our unhappiness starts from there,
Correct.
because you're expecting is unexpected, and lamentation begins.
Yes.
Oh, I can become a millionaire. I have only 50K now. How should I make that 50K into 1 million? Where should I put this? How should I make? And lamentation, focus fully goes there. You're right. Okay. For the next. And also you said desires, right, Ravi Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Having desires is not a problem, but if the desires are properly aligned, that becomes a devotional service, right? Yeah. Desire mind is a disturbed mind. And also same time, non-desire mind is also useless if you don't have desire to serve Supreme Lord. So desires have to be properly aligned. Yeah. Sometimes desire mind becomes a disturbed mind. My gosh, I have to do this. They're always in passion and my passionate. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I think Prabhupada mentioning ahankara or false ego in the previous paragraph. We
Right.
live in this false ego that we are the achievers of everything.
Correct. Yeah. We are the
Outside.
actually absolutely ahankara false. Okay. Let's go next. Sorry, I'm yawning too much. Really excuse me for that. Okay, next one. We have very less devotees today. Weekend. Okay. Ravi Prabhuji, you want to read few lines?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yes.
The living entity carries out various desires through 5 different processes, which indicate the working of the 5 working senses. The golden ornaments and dress indicate that the living entity is influenced by the quality of Rajoguna passion. One who has a good deal of money or riches is especially driven by the mode of passion. Being influenced by the mode of passion, one desires so many things for enjoyment in this material world. The 11 commanders represents the 10 senses and the mind. The mind is always making plans with the 10 commanders to enjoy the material world. The forest named Pancha Prashtha, where the king went to hunt, is the forest of the 5 sense objects: form, taste, sound, smell, and touch. Thus, in this 3 verses, Narada Muni describes the position of the material body and the engagement of the living entity with it. Srila Prabhupada mentioning here about the living entity, how it carries out through the 5 different processes. That is, I think, the hands, legs, the 5 working senses. So the body is also represented here as when the body is having the golden ornaments and the dress, it means that it is influenced by the quality of Rajoguna. So one who has good amount of money, right, and he's driven by the mode of passion, right? So this mode of passion means, he's desiring a lot of sense enjoyment, material things, right? Because he wants to make money so that he can do sense enjoyment. And again, there are 11 commanders that we read earlier also, the 10 senses and the mind, right? And these 10 commanders wants to enjoy the material world. Also, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning the forest named Panchaprastha, where the king went to hunt, is the forest of the 5 senses: form, taste, sound, smell, and touch. And so these 3 verses, what we have studied today from 1 to 3, Narad Muni describes the position of the material body and the engagement of the living entity, the soul sitting within the material body. So yeah, that's what Narad Muni is describing about how the living body acts.
It's such a beautiful shloka. This is this is really beautiful shloka. Such a beautifully explaining how our desires, our karmendriyas and jnanendriyas, how should we engage. It's good to for the happiness of these 5 senses, right? Taste, sound, smell, and touch. We do a lot of things. That is how these 5 karmendriyas and jnanendriyas, these karmendriyas and jnanendriyas, these 5 karmendriyas, touch, smell, these forest 5 senses, to enjoy the material world. The forest where king went to hunt is the forest of the 5 sense object form. Yeah. So we are all, every morning we go for the hunting, right? We get up morning, we go for this 5 sense object. We go to our job is our forest. We go there. Then we try to look for happiness. Something like that. Yeah, definitely. It's a beautiful. Anyway, so Suman Mataji, would you mind adding any points, Mataji, from this one?
No, Prabhuji, I'm good for today.
Yeah. So any one or 2 points you wanted to say here?
No, no, Prabhuji.
Very good.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Nice. Okay, so we have 2-3 more minutes. Let's see one thing. You can just Suman Mataji, what you can do is just do the next shloka.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Three shloka, then we'll be done. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. With pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Chachar mrika yatra
Chachara
Chachara
mridayatra
Chacharamrigyantatra
dipta atishu karmukha
Drupta
Adeshu
Adeshu
Karmukaha
Karmukaha
vivaya jayam ata arham
Vihaya
Vihaya
Jayam
Jayam Tatat
Tatarham
Arham
mriga vyasana lalashah.
Mruga Vyasana
Vyasana
Lalashaha.
Translation by A.C.
No,
Bhaktivedanta.
synonyms.
Synonyms. Chachar executed.
Chara
Chara
executed.
executed
Brigayam hunting.
Gayam
Mrugayam
Hunting.
hunting
Tatra there.
Tatra there.
Tatra Te
having taken.
Dripatah being proud.
Tripta being proud.
being proud
Ata having taken.
After
After
having
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 taken.
taken
Issue arrows.
Issue
issue
arrows.
arrows
Karmukha bow.
Karmukaha
Karmukaha
bow.
bow
Vihaya giving up.
Vihaya
giving up
Jayam his wife.
Jayam his
Yam his
wife.
wife
Tat arham although impossible.
Atat
Atat
Arham,
Arham
although
although
impossible.
impossible.
Mriga hunting.
Mriga
Mriga
hunting,
hunting.
Vyasana evil activities.
Vyasana
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 evil
evil
activities.
activities
Lalasa being inspired by.
Lalasaha being
being
inspired by.
inspired by
Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
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 It was almost impossible for King Puranjana to give up the company of his queen.
It was
It was
almost
almost
impossible for
impossible
King
for King
Puranjana to
Puranjana to
give
give
up
up
the
the company
company
of
of
his
his queen,
company
queen,
of his queen
company
Even
of
for a
his queen,
moment.
even
even
for a
for a
even for
moment.
a
for a
moment.
moment.
Nonetheless, on that day,
Nonetheless,
Nonetheless,
on
On
that
that
Nonetheless, on
day,
day,
that day,
being very much inspired by the desire to hunt,
being very
being
much
being
very
very
being
much
inspired
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 by
by
the
the
by
desire
desire
to
to
desire
hunt,
hunt,
to hunt,
he took up his bow and arrow with great pride
he took
he
up
took
took
his
up
up
bow
his
his
and
bow
arrow
and
with
with
arrow
great
with
great
pride
great
pride,
pride
and went to the forest not caring for his wife.
and
in the
went to
went
the
to the
forest,
forest
not
not
forest,
into
not
caring for
caring
forest,
his
caring
for
not
for
his
his
wife.
caring
wife.
for his wife.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare
We'll
Krishna.
meet tomorrow again. Thank you. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.